a big update coming in. You're watching the biggest story tonight. I'll be joined by our senior executive editor as well, Abhishek Kapoor, because a big breaking has come in. Let's go to that right now. It's a big development in the Rohith Vemula case. The Telangana Police has closed its probe into the death of Rohith Vemula, claiming he was not a Dalit. I repeat, claiming that he was not a Dalit and died by suicide because he was afraid to reveal his real caste identity would be discovered. That's a big update coming on to Public TV viewers. This is huge because the Telangana Police a short while back has filed a closure report in the case involving Rohith Vemula, who died by suicide in Jan 2016. And this is the big update coming on to Public TV viewers. Will be joined soon by our senior executive editor as well, to take us through what that closure report says, because many important details have emerged from that report. It's a closure report which has been submitted to the Telangana High Court. The state police has claimed that that Rohith was not, number one, not a Dalit, and then he died because he was afraid that his real caste identity would be discovered. Joining us right now is Abhishek Kapoor coming in right now, and we have Aneri as well. Abhishek, big development coming in. This is very important. Closure report is out. What does it say, and why is this a big breaking development here on Public TV at this point of time?
This is a big development, Shivangi, for many reasons. The first of which is that the kind of politics that the Congress party, specifically Rahul Gandhi, played on the unfortunate suicide of Rohith Vemula comes undone, ironically, when the Congress party is in power in Telangana. This is Telangana Police filing a closure report in the Rohith Vemula suicide case and saying that there was nothing which suggests that any one of the accused contributed in any manner to Rohith Vemula's suicide. Now, that's a big one. Number two, it says that Rohith Vemula was actually not from the scheduled castes, that the certificate of scheduled castes that he had was actually forged or fabricated, and perhaps he knew that this could be found out, and out of fear, he committed suicide. That's sensational. And remember the kind of politics we saw panning out over Rohith Vemula. Rahul Gandhi visiting the family, promising a Rohith Vemula act on atrocities, and suggesting that Rohith Vemula was wrong. Remember who were accused in this? Secunderabad Member of Parliament of the BJP, Bandaru Dattatreya, Member of the Legislative Council, Ramachander Rao, and Vice-Chancellor Appa Rao of the University of Hyderabad. Apart from that, ABVP leaders were accused of in creating a situation which led to Rohith Vemula committing suicide out of guilt. Even Women and Child Development Minister at that time, Smriti Irani, was someone who was brought in the ambit of abettors for Rohith Vemula's suicide. And now we have this closure report ultimately being filed by Telangana Police when the Congress party is in power in the state, which says that no, Rohith Vemula's suicide was not connected with any abetment. Rohith Vemula in fact committed suicide because he feared that his real caste identity, which was not Dalit, would be found out, and the entire Dalit politics plank that the Congress party really played at that time has come undone. It happened during Rahul Gandhi's time. Rahul Gandhi was, remember, the president of the Congress party, and Rahul Gandhi led from the front these promises, including the Justice for Rohith Vemula campaign that had picked up across campuses in India. And the opposition had tried to put the government led by Prime Minister Modi on the mat. Now, neither the Telangana Congress nor the central leadership have responded. Essentially what we are seeing is, now let me go to the report now, because we have access to the report also, Shivangi, and let's go to the report and get you some facts.
Right.
The closure report, for example, on Rohith Vemula says that he was aware that he does not belong to the scheduled caste, and that the certificate that they had came from some sources which his mother procured, and that he was fearful that this would be found out. Also, according to the report, I'm trying to, connect the dots insofar as the report is concerned. There are strong observations being made, and it says that all these people who are named have to be absolved because they have not played any role in the step that Rohith Vemula took. This is going to be very big. The report says that if he would have been angry with the decision of the university on expulsion, certainly either he would have written in specific words or would have indicated in this regard. But it did not do the same. It shows that the circumstances prevailing in the university at the time were not reasons for Rohith's death. Shivangi.
Right. And of course, come back to you, Abhishek. Just go ahead, read that report out for now. We'll come back to you in just a moment. Aneri is also joining us live right now. Aneri, let's not forget the Congress had supported the nationwide Justice for Vemula campaign. Do we have any reaction coming in from the Congress to this closure report?
Well, Shivangi, what we have been seeing is that this is a big development which has come in where Telangana Police has almost a month back, well, we just got a confirmation from the Cyberabad Police where almost a month back the police officials had submitted the closure report in the Telangana High Court in connection with the Rohith Vemula case, and also this comes as a big development because the police has now given a clean chit to all the accused in this case, and also at the same time this includes all the accused, also includes the BJP leaders, the ABVP student activists, and also the former HCO, Vice-Chancellor Appa Rao also has been given clean chit in this matter. So definitely a big development coming in. Whereas remember, right now when we talk about the Telangana state, it is the Congress ruled state, and now the Telangana Police has given a clean chit to the accused who have been involved in the alleged suicide case of Rohith Vemula, where we have been seeing that police also has submitted a closure report, many details which have been coming in from that closure report where it also mentions that we have been seeing that police in the report has stated that he had written a letter to the Vice-Chancellor back then, Appa Rao, and also the report states that Vice-Chancellor had taken steps following the rules of the university is what the police in the report has stated, and further there are no evidence against any of the accused, and that is the reason why police has now submitted a closure report in the High Court. Well, we are yet to get any sort of reaction from the Congress party in this connection, but yes, we'll have to wait and watch how it turns out to be, because remember back then after the suicide of Rohith Vemula, we had seen massive political turn-off events which had taken place between the Congress and the BJP. The massive war of words had taken place after the suicide of Rohith Vemula.
Right. All right. I'll come back to you, Aneri. Let's go back to Abhishek Kapoor. He's having a very close eye looking at the report very closely. Abhishek, what have you found out?
Now
big details.
Yeah. Let's go to the report. It's a 60-page report, and it is signed by Assistant Commissioner of Police, Madhapur Division, and his name is Sri Kumar, if I'm getting it right, because the printout is difficult to decipher. It's signed in the month of May 2024, which is like the latest, and it has been submitted today to the Andhra Pradesh Telangana High Court. And it says, the last line says, I am referring the case as lack of evidence. Number one. Number two, it says that insofar as the suicide is concerned, the deceased himself was aware that he does not belong to scheduled caste, and that his mother got him the SC certificate. This could be one of the constant fears, as the exposure of the same would have put him at loss of his academic degrees that he earned over the years and be compelled to face prosecution. Thus, the deceased had multiple issues worrying him, which could have driven him to commit suicide. So this is the most conclusive para. Essentially, it says that the accused have nothing to do with the act of suicide of Rohith Vemula, that he was fearful that it would be found out that he actually is not a Dalit, that the certificate is forged, and that if it is found out, he might have to surrender his degrees, and then he will have to face prosecution. On the issue of Vice-Chancellor, it says that in December 2015, addressed to the Vice-Chancellor, a letter that Rohith Vemula wrote, he asked for providing poison and rope to commit suicide. If examined whether this can be an indication for his suicide, this letter was written a month in advance, and the disappointment, anger with which it might have been written must have died down with the lapse of time. So the note that the deceased did not refer to any of the issues raised by him in this letter to the Vice-Chancellor thus appears it has got reasons which are entirely different from what he has written in his letter on 18th of December. So essentially, two suicide notes. One is the actual suicide note which was found on Rohith Vemula when he committed the suicide. And a month before that, he had written a letter to the Vice-Chancellor which was also sort of seen as a reflective of his state of mind because of his expulsion. The report is disconnecting the two. It's saying that it's actually other reasons that were weighing on his mind. And so essentially what we are seeing is, Shivangi, that this is going to come to haunt the Congress party in the midst of elections, particularly as Telangana votes just a week from now. Did Rahul Gandhi fake the Rohith Vemula call for justice for his politics? Is something which is going to be asked today, tonight, and during the campaign. Republic Newsbreak now getting confirmed by others following Rohith Vemula suicide case. That's a big disclosure coming in. Telangana Police saying that in view of the manner in which everyone behaved, it cannot be said that Rohith Vemula was in any manner targeted. In fact, it says that the administration was very lenient against Rohith Vemula, and it says that there was a committee which was set up for punishing those people who had carried out slogans in favor of Yaqub Memon. This is big. It says the deceased and 4 other students who conducted a program in memory of terrorist Yaqub Memon, who was hanged. And this matter was brought to the notice of the university administration. But the Vice-Chancellor, in fact, took a lenient view despite a committee recommending a stricter action. In view of this leniency taken by the Vice-Chancellor against the recommendation of the committee to stick to the earlier punishment, it cannot be said he had discriminated against the deceased and 4 other students. Except this decision of leniency taken by the Vice-Chancellor in favor of the deceased and others, all other proceedings occurred during the tenure of previous Vice-Chancellor. So obviously this is getting bigger. Rohith Vemula, in fact, was treated leniently, is what the closure report by Telangana Police under a Congress government in Andhra Pradesh, in Telangana, I beg your pardon, says. And the Congress is going to have a lot of explaining to do, Shivangi. Rahul Gandhi is going to have a lot of explaining to do, that why that motivated campaign was carried out. Did Rahul Gandhi not do a due diligence before he joined in the bandwagon? And remember the kind of protests panned out across the country, from Hyderabad University to JNU in Delhi to across the country, across campuses. It was almost like an attempt was being made to hijack the narrative and create a situation or a narrative that the Modi government was specifically targeting the deprived sections of society. Prime Minister Modi was personally targeted. And the then Women and Child Development Minister Smriti Irani was targeted.
We're getting some more breaking updates coming in right now. The Congress government has given Smriti Irani a clean chit coming in. Big update coming here, Abhishek. We'll go to Aniri in just a while. But this is huge. That there's a clean chit to all the accused. The Congress government giving a clean chit to the BJP leaders. And let's not forget, Abhishek, that this entire issue, the Vemula's death back in 2016 of January, there were so many nationwide protests. The entire protest was against discrimination towards Dalits in universities. And the kind of report, the kind of findings in the report says that he did not belong to the scheduled caste category, Abhishek.
Well, absolutely. And as I go through the report point by point, so for example, on page 49, it says that the Vice-Chancellor, in fact, treated Rohith Vemula with leniency vis-a-vis the recommendations that were made by the Executive Council, which was set up to look into the issue of these students carrying out protests in support of terrorist Yaqub Memon. Now, that's a huge one. And the recommendation of the subcommittee was placed before the Executive Council, and the Vice-Chancellor, Mr. P. Appa Rao, we'll try and get Mr. P. Appa Rao and connect with him. And the committee members headed by Mr. P. Appa Rao actually took a little more lenient view. The committee had said that Rohith Vemula should be asked to vacate the hostels till and they should not be allowed to continue their studies, while K. Appa Rao did not let him get out of the hostels and only suspended him. While the recommendation was for expulsion, Rohith Vemula was only suspended. I mean, this is the report on page number 48. It says, it quotes extensively from the inquiry committee which was set up to look into those protests that the students had carried out, of which Rohith Vemula was part, in which terrorist Yaqub Memon was sort of celebrated in some manner. I think that the whole story is about the Congress government in power in Telangana when the clean sheet and the closure report is being filed. Even as Rahul Gandhi had picked up that issue and made it big at that time.
Right, Abhishek, this is very big story. And just let's go back a little bit in time about the kind of comments Rahul Gandhi has made. Rahul Gandhi multiple times has paid tribute to Rohith Vemula on his death anniversaries, saying he remains a symbol of resistance and his hero. And on X, which was Twitter at one point of time, Abhishek, he has written this, I'm reading it out. Rohith Vemula was murdered by discrimination and indignities against his Dalit identity. Now, these were the comments coming in from Rahul Gandhi time and again. And of course, we have to wait and watch as to what the Congress will say about this, because they have a lot to answer.
Well, absolutely. So now let's go step by step and page by page. So, for example, on the role of the then Member of Parliament of the BJP from Secunderabad, Bandaru Dattatreya, and what was his role. The report on page number 45 and 46 says that Dr. Bandaru Dattatreya, as a representative of the area, actually wrote a letter to Smriti Irani, and then it quotes the letter completely, and that says that this letter, it seems, had no bearing whatsoever on the action that Rohith Vemula took, and that in fact this letter was actually supportive. Now, this is about the role of of the then MP Bandaru Dattatreya, and in that context, Smriti Irani's name comes in because she was the Women and Child Development Minister at that time, and so that's what the closure report says about the role of Mr. Bandaru Dattatreya, and which obviously means that they are giving a complete clean sheet to the then MP. Also, was the deceased denied his scholarship? Because that was also a charge made by Rohith Vemula supporters subsequently. Now, the report goes into a detailed understanding of whether in any manner Rohith Vemula was affected by change of his scholarships. Now, it says that in the year 2012, deceased qualified for CSIR NET, joint PhD course, and he had an amount of 4,99,200 was paid to him, and so it's not that there was any denial of his scholarship. Then he was paid a fellowship in the year 2014 in an excess of 2,28,000 rupees. Subsequently, he gained UGC. He joined UGC test, and he got he got admitted in PhD at the Center for Knowledge, Culture, Innovation and Studies, School of Sciences, University of Hyderabad. And so essentially, he continued to get payment for every year of fellowship that he did, and that he was not denied. It says that from 2 July 2015, Vemula Rohith had not received his fellowship from 2 July 2015 from the funding agency. However, the received fellowship enhancement arrears were delivered to him on 20th of November 2015. Now, whether Professor Appa Rao harassed the deceased to commit suicide and whether he has harassed the 4 other students who were suspended, this is the question that is asked. And then it says that by observing the developments in this issue, it can be seen that In September 2015, Mr. R.P. Sharma, then Vice-Chancellor, got a committee constituted. So Appa Rao did not even have a role in the formation of the committee which recommended expulsion of Rohith Vemula. So the question of Appa Rao in any manner victimizing or harassing Rohith Vemula does not arise is the conclusion that this report comes to. And we'll go page by page. But, you know, Shivangi, what is important is the politics that really panned out. It was, of course, led by Rahul Gandhi. But look at the entire ecosystem, what is called the Lutyens lobby, the Khan market gang that picked it up and turned it. Even, you know, the international platforms which are always sniffing for opportunities like this jumped in, from The Guardian to the New York Times, and, you know, columnists from the Khan market and Lutyens gang writing for those newspapers and suggesting that the Modi government was somehow against the deprived sections of society, and Rohith Vemula case was an example of that. Everything coming undone, ironically, at a time when the Congress is in power in Telangana.
Right. Well, Abhishek, this is a very big story that we are getting for our viewers. I just want our viewers to understand what has happened so far. If you're watching Republic right now, this is one of the biggest stories we're tracking today. In a closure report submitted to the Telangana High Court, the state police has said that Rohith was not a Dalit and that he died because he was afraid his real caste identity would be discovered. And the closure report has given a clean chit to the accused, absolving then Secunderabad MP Bandaru Dattatreya, MLC N. Ramachander Rao, University of Hyderabad Vice-Chancellor Appa Rao, besides Union Minister of Women and Child Development Smriti Irani, and also some leaders of the ABVP. And as we are, of course, getting our viewers all this, later on at 10 p.m., Arnab, Editor-in-Chief, would be discussing this and debating this tonight. But Abhishek, let's not forget, you know, what kind of reaction would we expect later on from Rohith Vemula's family? That will also be interesting to watch, because in the past we have seen that in one of the Bharat Jodo Yatras, Rohith Vemula's mother has joined Rahul Gandhi. So also we have to wait and watch what would the family say of Rohith Vemula.
Well, obviously, we will have to get their response, and I believe we would be working on this. The desk would be working on that. We can, in fact, try and get some voices on this very big story breaking on the Republic Network, others following, and which is that the Congress party played politics with the unfortunate suicide of Rohith Vemula, a student of PhD at the University of Hyderabad in 2016. And now, look at, for example, whether the punishment given to Rohith Vemula by way of his expulsion was right or wrong. That's the probe. That's what the probe looked into, asked the question, and then says the punishment imposed on the 5 students, including the deceased, which is Rohith Vemula, in this case is within the punishments prescribed as per above said rules. So obviously, Rohith Vemula was not punished out of turn or beyond the rule book of the university, number one. Number two, the committee which recommended the punishment was not set up by the Vice-Chancellor, who was witch-hunted by these activists, including by the Congress party, including by Rahul Gandhi. Also, that the same Vice-Chancellor who was witch-hunted actually acted on the report but diluted the punishment and gave Rohith Vemula a window through which he could stay in the hostels. So all these things are coming out of this report. Also, that the issue that was made of the disruption in the scholarship that Rohith Vemula was getting is not right, or it was not reason enough, the report says, for Rohith Vemula to have committed suicide. And
right.
Then, of course, the report goes on to give other details. But Shivangi, let's not dissect beyond a certain point this unfortunate suicide that a student ultimately committed, irrespective of whether he himself was part of, forging his own certificate, or his mother got the forged certificate, or whether he was actually a Dalit or not. A suicide is unfortunate if anyone, whosoever commits it. But the manner in which, on the death of Rohith Vemula, politics was sought to be played is something which is going to be focused. Remember, we're discussing this on an important day. Rahul Gandhi versus Smriti Irani is not happening in Amethi. Rahul Gandhi has moved to the next district, in the next Gandhi Nehru legacy seat of Rai Bareli. Smriti Irani was one of the targets of the propaganda and campaign around Rohith Vemula, and she was sort of vilified in this entire story. And now we have the Telangana Police under a Congress government giving a clean chit to all the BJP leaders, which obviously includes Smriti Irani.
Right, Abhishek, well, this is going to be one of our top stories later on. Arnab Goswami would be debating on the story. So viewers, you have to catch it. This is an unmissable debate in between the elections. A big controversy has come out. Abhishek, we're taking a very short break. Coming up on the other side, much more coming up, viewers, as a big development has come in the Rohith Vemula case. Telangana Police has closed its probe into the death of Rohith Vemula, claiming he was not a Dalit and died by suicide because he was afraid his real caste identity would be discovered.